The year 1914. Europe hummed with industry and simmered with tension. Nationalism ran high. Empires old and proud clung to power. Few suspected that a distant gunshot in Sarajevo would shatter the fragile peace. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, on June 28, 1914, set in motion a chain of events that would plunge the world into darkness. World War I, the war to end all wars, was a conflict unlike any before. It was a global conflagration that pitted nation against nation, empire against empire. Millions of soldiers would be swallowed by the trenches of the Western Front, mowed down by machine guns and choked by poison gas. The world watched in horror as the conflict spiraled out of control, drawing in nations from across the globe. It was a war of unprecedented brutality and technological advancement, forever changing the face of warfare and leaving an indelible mark on the 20th century. This is the story of that war, a war that would redefine the meaning of global conflict, leaving millions dead and a world forever scarred. The road to war was paved with complex alliances and simmering rivalries. Europe in the early 20th century was a powder keg, primed for explosion. Germany, a rising industrial power, challenged Britain's dominance. France, still smarting from its defeat in the Franco-Prussian War, yearned for revenge. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, a patchwork of ethnicities, struggled to maintain its grip on power. A complex web of alliances entangled these nations. Germany and Austria-Hungary formed the Central Powers, while France, Russia and Great Britain made up the Triple Entente. These alliances, meant to deter aggression, instead ensured that any conflict would quickly escalate. Nationalism, too, played a critical role in fueling the flames of war. Across Europe, people felt a strong sense of identity with their nation-state, creating an environment of suspicion and mistrust. This fervent nationalism made it easy for governments to stir up public support for war, painting their rivals as threats to their nation's very existence. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand provided the spark that ignited the powder keg of Europe. Austria-Hungary, outraged by the assassination, issued an ultimatum to Serbia, demanding satisfaction and investigation into the assassination. Serbia, backed by Russia, refused to comply fully with the ultimatum. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. The alliance system, designed to prevent war, instead acted like a tripwire, dragging nation after nation into the conflict. Within days, Germany, bound by its treaty with Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia and France. Great Britain, obligated to defend Belgium's neutrality after Germany invaded the small nation, soon followed suit. The world watched in disbelief as the continent descended into chaos. What began as a regional conflict in the Balkans had rapidly escalated into a global war, drawing in nations from across the globe. The Western Front, a sprawling network of trenches stretching from the English Channel to Switzerland, became synonymous with the horrors of World War I. Here, millions of soldiers faced each other across a desolate no-man's land, locked in a brutal stalemate that would last for years. The machine gun, a new and terrifying weapon of war, transformed the battlefield into a killing field. Artillery barrages rained down on enemy trenches, turning the landscape into a muddy, cratered wasteland. Life in the trenches was a nightmare. Soldiers endured constant shelling, disease, and the ever-present threat of enemy attack. The stench of death hung heavy in the air, a grim reminder of the human cost of the conflict. Major offensives, like the Battle of the Somme and the Battle of Verdun, resulted in staggering casualties, with hundreds of thousands of men killed or wounded for mere yards of gained territory. The Western Front became a symbol of the futility and brutality of modern warfare, a place where hope and humanity seemed to vanish amidst the mud and blood.